Wedding favours, they're a tricky one, aren't they? It's so hard to know how much to spend, what to spend it on. You want something effective, you want something beautiful, it's got to go with the rest of the decor. You don't want to be seen to be repeating what somebody else has done at another wedding. So hard to know. Well, never fear, don't you worry. I'm here today. I'm going to help you with this whole topic. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name's Jack Barton, and if you've watched any of my videos before, you will know that I'm on a mission to help you guys with your wedding planning. Wedding favours, they're a tough one to crack, aren't they? Here's a little bit of history for you. Wedding favours started way back in the 16th century. They started as a little gesture from the newlywed couple. So it would be the first gift that the newlyweds would give to their friends or to their family as a sign of appreciation and love. Now, this is a tradition that is obviously carried on until the modern day. Yes, it's evolved somewhat. Yes, people spend far too much money on them. Yes, lots of favours get left after the wedding day. For somebody who goes and clears up weddings the very next day, I personally see so many lovely wedding favours left. So please, please, please don't go spending a fortune on anything that's too personalised, because it will get left on the table and you guys will be taking home lots of, I don't know, individually engraved shot glasses. I've seen lots of coasters made with people's wedding dates on. Who wants to take that home? Your mum and dad maybe, but I'm sorry, I don't think cousin Joe wants that on their lounge table. So you've got to be wise and you've got to be savvy with it too. In all of my years in the wedding industry, loads and loads of couples really struggle when I ask them this question. And the reason that I ask them this question as a stylist is because it does have a overall what's the word? Overall enhancement on your wedding decor. So if you think about a table setup, I want to know as a stylist everything that's going to be on that table. So if you're doing wedding favours, we need to make sure that they're coordinated in with the rest of your decoration on that table. Now, first of all, big one, number one, I think that you guys need to work out a budget for these. So if you've got 80 people, realistically, you're not going to get anything less than for £1, if I'm honest. You're going to struggle to find anything less than £1. You may even struggle to find anything less than £2. If budget isn't a problem for you, then go ahead, splash £5. But as always with budget, it's what's important to you and where you allocate that. So be wise, be careful with it. Ask yourself, if you're going to spend a huge amount or even a little amount, is it something that is going to suit everybody? If the answer is no, it's not, then it's not worth buying for everybody. You're not going to be able to keep everybody happy. If it's going to please 80%, then maybe it is worthwhile. But if it's less than 80% of the people that are going to be happy with this little gift that you've spent ages sourcing and looking for and making look beautiful, it's probably not worth it. So don't even go there. So work out your budget first of all, and work out when you're looking at wedding favours, what is going to suit overall the maximum amount of your guests. Remember, there's males to please, there's females to please. There may be even older people, children. You have to look across the board. So be careful and be wise. Secondly, don't go too personalised, okay? If you start writing on things, your wedding date and your names, you have to ask yourself who is going to take that home and look after it and cherish it forever. Your mum and dad, yes, absolutely 100%. You guys, yes, absolutely 100%. So that's probably the whole of the top table. But what about the rest of the gang? I don't think Uncle Joe or Auntie Sue is really, well, Auntie Sue might. She might do for a small while and then she'll be like, what do I do with this? So don't go too personalised, okay? Think about what you would have in your house. Houses are very minimalistic these days, so ask yourself, would you display this in your house if it was your cousins or it was your second cousin removed or, your colleague from work? Ask yourself that question. Would you have it in your house? Edible favours, are really popular. Obviously, we all like a little munch on something when we're at the wedding table. Obviously, we're getting fed loads as well, but edible favours are a sweet touch, literally sometimes. But be wise in what you are giving them as an edible favour. Think about not going too niche. The reason I say this is because the old tradition of giving wedding favours always used to be sugared almonds. Now ask yourself, when was the last time you ate an almond? When was the last time your friend ate an almond? You have to be realistic. Also, you have to think about allergies and things like that. If you're starting to have to really niche down and change all of these favours depending on people's allergies, then it's probably a no-go. So cross that one out, okay? Think about it as, again, pleasing more of a bigger audience, not just suiting one or two people. Charity favours. Charity favours are a lovely, lovely thing to do. And most big charities now will have some form of wedding favour that you can actually give your guests on the day. So whether it be like a bookmark or whether it be a brooch or a pin or something like that, or even just a little card to say that you guys have donated to a charity that is close to your heart, is actually a really nice way of doing a wedding favour. It can also be a really good nod to somebody that you may have lost within the family, to a cancer charity or something like that. It's a real good recognition of a charity that is close to your heart, and it makes it personal to you. So if you are looking to, gesture somebody's memory, paying towards a charity that is going to provide you with some wedding favours is a really lovely way to do that. For me as a stylist, I always say to all of my clients, put your names on your favours, and even better, use your name places as your favours. So simple things like, lots of you always like the little wooden name scripts that people do. And they always say to me, yeah, we're going to have those name scripts. And I always say, okay, ask the company that are going to do them for you to pop a little magnet on the back, because then suddenly that little name place has a purpose. When it goes home, it can be stuck on the fridge and has a purpose and can be used again. So what you're doing is you're doubling up something. You're using it as a name place, but you're also using it as a favour, which is great. Great from my point of view as a stylist, because I don't like lots of clutter on the table. The less clutter you can have in front of people, the better. So if you can double something up with a name place and a favour, do it, I say. This might be controversial, but ask yourselves, do you really need the favours? Is anybody going to really miss them? Okay? It might seem like a, scary prospect, not having a favour, bucking the trend, but actually think about it for a minute. You've spent a small fortune on this guest being with you for the day anyway. So you've already given them the gift of your wedding day and being able to come and enjoy it for the whole day. You're feeding them, you're providing entertainment, you're providing alcohol, I should think, as well too. So you've spent an awful lot of money on these guests already. Do you really need to be scratching your heads and worrying about what favour to give them if you don't really need to give anything at all? Ask yourselves, would it really be missed? There are a few favours, I have to say, that always go down well. So my top 3 for you guys is, number 1, alcohol. Okay, but there is a bit of a thing with this one, because some venues won't always let you have it. So a lot of people would like to have a shot or a small miniature on their table for that person as their wedding favour, but some venues don't like you to do that, because obviously that means you're giving them alcohol rather than going to the bar and buying alcohol. So they feel that they're missing out. A lot of venues, however, will give you a drinks token. So instead of having a shot on the table, they give you their very own drinks token, which you will have paid for prior. So basically, you're buying a drink for everybody. And I'm not being funny, but who's going to turn down the offer of a free drink? So alcohol always goes down well. Number 2, I think a really good one is mints. And I tell you for why, is because often we're all a little bit paranoid that our breath's smelling after we've had some beautifully tailor-made meal for us at a wedding breakfast. It can often be quite herby or quite garlicky. So a couple of mints just in a small packet would go down a treat. You think as well that this is probably going to be a really budget-friendly favour too, because you buy a whole packet of polos, you divide them up into 2s or 3s and pop them into smaller packets. I don't know, what's a packet of polos these days? Back in my day, they were 25 pence, but I bet you they're near £1. But still, if you think about dividing them up and finding and sourcing something that's fairly cheap to put them in to make them smaller, I think you've got yourself a really good budget-friendly wedding favour, but also something that everybody is going to pick up after their dinner and want to just freshen up with. And even if they don't freshen up with it there and then, they'll pop it in their bag to freshen up with later. Number 3, I think the ones that never disappoint and are always taken are the lottery cards. Now, my big bugbear with lottery cards is the fact that they always look a bit garish. So I think if you could slot them into a little brown envelope or a little white envelope, pop a little stamp on the front of them, something like that, I think that makes them always look better. But again, a very budget-friendly favour. They're £1 each. You can mix them up. You don't have to have them all the same. Pop them into individual envelopes so they all do look the same once they're on the table. And there's your favour. You can even put the name on the front. And again, what you're doing is you're doubling up your name, place, and your favour together, which is a complete win. So remember, 3 things. 1, alcohol, whether it be actual alcohol or a token for the bar at your venue. 2, nice, refreshing mints, okay? Whatever style of mints you like. But obviously, just be mindful of age. Children are not necessarily going to be age appropriate for mints, so just be careful with that. And also watch the granddads and grandmas, because they might have dentures. But they'll know. The children won't, but the grandparents will. So number 3 is your lottery cards. Now, a sneaky one here, you don't necessarily have to buy into the national lottery. You could make your own lottery. So what you could do is, say, for instance, you've got 100 guests. You put your £100 that you would ordinarily spend on your wedding favours into a little kitty. You give everybody a number. And then on the wedding day, at the wedding breakfast, you call a number, and whether you have a first, second or third prize, or whether you just have a first prize and the whole £100 goes to that number, job's a good one. All you've had to do is give them a number, that's it. But that person has won £100. And what a win that would be at a wedding day. Now, if you guys are enjoying any of my YouTube videos, I would absolutely love you to give it a big thumbs up, write a comment underneath, tell us what you got from it. And also, even better would be to hit that subscribe button so that you're notified straight away as soon as a new video comes out. Join us on this journey to make your wedding planning really easy and really simple, and also, most of all, lots of fun.